joined along with Girish from Singapore. Girish is Senior Technical Director for Precision Livestock Farming at Evonik Animal Nutrition. Girish joined Evonik Animal Nutrition in 2010, and since 2013, he is leading the technical team of Evonik Animal Nutrition in Asia Pacific South region. Girish is an alumnus of University of Agriculture Science, Bangalore, and University of Gulf Animal and Poultry Science Department, Canada, where he completed his postgraduate degree in poultry nutrition. Girish, as you come from technical background as well, and having the technological intuitiveness also. So, when it comes to the dairy, it is a little bit easier, in fact, to talk about precision livestock farming. But when it comes to the poultry, although the intent could be to think about precision poultry farming, but it's not so easy, obviously, because it's more of flock management rather than the individual bird management there. But as we know, technology does not hear the language of no. It can pose solution in any perspective or any challenge which is posed before that. So can you share your perspective that how a concept like, say, artificial intelligence, to be precise, can bring more advancement towards the precision livestock farming, which you are foreseeing in future, or what you are seeing at present happening also?
Sure. Thank you very much, Tanvir, and I'm also happy to be part of this webinar. Yeah, I think it's a kind of interesting question what you asked, Tanvir. Looking at our peer industries or other industries, let's say such as healthcare, retail and e-commerce, banking and financials services, logistic and transportation, manufacturing segments, even in advanced or a mature market, crop science. Yeah, the use of AI has a significant impact on some of these sectors. Yeah, looking into very specifically on the livestock, especially looking into poultry domain, I would say the utilization of the concept or the technology of AI has not made a significant advance, I would say. But of course, there are tremendous opportunity of the industry to adapt it. Yeah, that's how I see it compared to other industries when we are comparing the concept of precision livestock farming. Very particular in case of poultry. Yeah. Looking at the AI, the basis of AI basically requires big data analytics. Yeah. What it can do is basically the vast volume of data will be able to structure into insightful information, which links, which creates linkages and relationships between them. Basically, the benefits of digitalization and big data analytics can be immense with the opportunity to drive organizational and industrial growth, I would say. I also acknowledge Mr. Tarun Sridhar's comment on how we drive in the market will also lead to the adaptation of the technology, whether it can be dairy or in case of poultry also. Yeah. Coming to as a starting point of AI as big data analytics, it is very clear that it becomes possible to estimate the effect of an independent variable. Let's say in case of poultry genetics, we just talked about that, and also housing system, feeding programs, feeding schemes on the technical performance of poultry. For example, what is the best feeding scheme in relation to the broiler performance, or for example, which broiler breeder farm produces the best offspring. Yeah, these are the things which can be already done with big data analytics. Given we have the tools and solutions in place to have a solid AI, the big data before. Yeah, yeah. In case of poultry production, of course, we know each flock is unique, and we need to have an animal-centric approach to support daily poultry production management using big data, biostatistics, and self-learning algorithms, which we call it as artificial intelligence. I mean, solutions are available, I would say, in the markets, but solutions, what we have to look is basically solutions related to AI should be able to improve the poultry production and product quality through holistic monitoring of the parameters that matter. And we talk about a lot of smart things, and in the farm we don't apply that. I mean, in case of AI, how it can be applied is, I mean, AI is able to create a smart early warning system, which can be notified and which can also alert the issues arising the problems to take necessary corrective measures to prevent the losses in production and also in profits. AI is able to optimize planning based on accurate predictions and take right decision at the right time to maximize return on investment. As just Alan mentioned, I mean, yes, these technologies are there, but it also should bring return on investment to the producers. What I see also is AI can also support in the development and enhancement of the customer products based on consumer needs. This is again the market demand or the market's needs can be achieved through using AI, and would be able to manage the expectations and also the demand of market preferences. I mean, all in all, what I see is, if we want to fully harness the potential of data management by using AI, we see a lot of benefits on the production and on the value chain. I see we can break the data silos and also transform them into more powerful information for the poultry producers to have an impactful decision within the poultry industry. That's what I see as, I mean, using AI, what it can bring into the poultry industry. Looking into the current, as I mentioned, there are solutions available to manage the poultry production, and also AI is able to manage the items, what I already mentioned. What I see in the market is digital technologies and data-driven businesses. In the future, change the competitive landscape and the market. I would say, I think the previous speakers also mentioned the business models are changing. The transformation of existing business model will change. I would also see the value proposition, basically new configuration of the value chains, which is already we see it on the retail sectors and the poultry marketing. Market and competition, I would say there will be discontinuation of the existing market structure. I would say with the disruption, new entrants will come into the market. If we look at the future with AI, I would say more of automation will come into the poultry sector. Certainly, we also see robotics in poultry production, which is already in some places. I would say either it can be at R&D or at some trial or pilot stage. What I see is also, the sound talks to detect diseases, which is very prevalently, which is very much looked in pig production. I would say on a short term, the best chance of, advances in AI is to use it for image recognition. All in all, in order to manage the expectation of AI on the impact of AI on the poultry production, I would also believe we need a collaborative data platform. Here, one company or one supplier is not able to provide. We really need a collaboration on the data as a data platform, and this will give a great breakdown. The silo thinking, and also should be also going out of this kind of collaboration, where I believe instead of silo thinking, we should be collaborating, improving offerings, and also integrating the poultry farming production all in all. This is my input on your question.
Thanks, Girish. I think what you said at the end is a very important point. Data. So I think that's a very, very valid point, Alan. So taking it further to Girish, and I would link it with one point which Alan you were talking about, is that when it comes to the embracing of good practices of technology, a lot depends upon leveraging the strength. Because in today's world, developing everything from scratch is just not a great idea. It's all about, in fact, it's not only about collaborative project management, but it has gone now one step further, what is called as a crowdsourcing, where it is, it is the information or inputs or ideas or suggestions are sought from the open domain, sometimes paid, sometimes unpaid. But the message is that how to involve the people. So, Girish, I'd like to hear it out from your perspective that when it comes to involving the people, our industry is in general wary about sharing of the data because they believe that it's not a great thing to share the data. But the essence of embracing of the technology demands that you need to get collaborative. What is your take on breaking of this thought process, or do you feel that what is going on is a great thing?
I would say, you also mentioned this concept of crowdsourcing, and in data science we call it as a collaborative data platform. I would say it's not so easy to break it, because we can sit and say, oh yeah, we have to do this. The data should be, the silo data should be broken. Yeah, here again we should go to the practical aspect. What happens? We need to make sure that, let's say, what is happening in case we are building a collaborative data sharing mentality. Yeah, here where the industry would be open. When we show the best practices coming out of such a kind of platform. Yeah, I also see the difficulties of sharing, having the best practices to ramp up or even to scale it up. Yeah, this is where I think it's interconnected, in my opinion. Yeah, I would say even to start with, just replicating the best practices. Yeah, in my opinion, basically the basis again of replication or scaling up is standardization. Yeah, standardization can come from the best practices or standard operating procedures. We know this. Yeah, both are qualitative, and it also depending on the application by the farm manager. Let's say in the case of of poultry. Yeah, the opportunity what this platform or even the digitalization. I would say it's still the digitalization part we need to address it before the platform comes into picture. The opportunity that the digitalization is offering is objective standardization of, let's say, collecting the core key performance indicator for the poultry farming, and using a standardized data flow in their operation certainly will allow them to improve the standard operating procedures. We call it in general our SOPs, meaning in a certain region, a housing system A is the best used, populating it with a genetic strain of Y and applying the feeding concept of schedule 1 or 2. Just as an example. Here, the digitalization enables to define such a strategy and monitor and control it afterwards, since management impact will also remain. Yeah. Here going back to our the objective of this kind of data collaborative data platform is, both sides as an industry and also the producers need to see the value. Okay, we are putting this our data in an ecosystem. It's again the data security comes into the picture. Yeah, the data security, the data quality comes into the picture. Yeah, here we need to bring those items and on the table and discuss it. Okay, I mean, if we as a poultry industry, in order to adapt these technologies, I think, I mean, anyway, the data in the big data is a subset of whoever is sharing. It's anonymous, I would say. Yeah. But the culture has to come from sharing the best practices, both sides, I would say, in my opinion. I mean, it will not happen as we simply say, so we need to break the silos. Yeah, we need to bring those best practices and also show the benefits of such a kind of platform somewhere else. It's already being adapted. For let's say in the case of poultry industry, that's how I feel it, Tanvi. Yeah.
Thanks, Girish. I think what you're saying is also echoing in some of the questions which is there in the panel box, because I'm seeing some questions where people are very eager to hear out some of the case studies that how in Indian context, whether it's dairy or poultry, the success has been exhibited. Before I come to that set of questions, maybe some of that will pick up. Let me touch base with Prachi or Prashant that are we there in position to pick the questions now or later?
Sir, we can take the questions if...
Okay. So let me pick a few questions from the one which has been asked. And let me put this to Alon. And if I look at the questions and the inputs, I am very tempted actually to acknowledge the good inputs coming from one of the participants, Dr. Manveer Singh. I really appreciate the various kind of points which he has put, very insightful points. But one which I liked most was that one of the reasons why Israel is doing quite well is the concept of data sharing. And I absolutely echo with his thought, because this is exactly the point I'd heard from another gentleman from Israel whom I was talking to, because the openness with which they share the data is one of the very important factors why they are able to learn from each other's mistake, and also the productivity benchmarking. I'm sure Alan will agree to this point. But along with that, I would like to now move to Girish for one question which is coming up in one other way. That can you share some of the platform or AI-based tool which could be of use for poultry industry? Girish, any input from your side on this?
Yeah, sure. Before, I would really like to acknowledge the last statement Mr. Tarun Sridhar said. I mean, this is, I mean, yeah, I mean, the attractiveness of the industry is coming from the technology. I mean, we had just an experience in one of the countries in the region. I mean, where they bought this digitalization service to just pass it on to his children. Means the farmer was a traditional farmer. I mean, as Mr. Tarun Sridhar just said, I mean, this was the best practice case I can share at the moment, because we just had a best case of this, what he just mentioned. Yeah, excellent point. Yeah, passing on the agriculture or the farming from the traditional way of looking at things into the new generation. This is excellent point. Yeah. Coming back to question, Tanvir, just one point I would like to clarify. Yeah? I mean, here, the collaborative data platform is both internal and external. Okay? Internal, even in the organization. Let's say if you are looking into a fully integrated poultry operator, starting from genetics, animal health, feed production, integrated production, and slaughtering. For example, I'm just giving this example as this one. Yeah? Here, the data also sit in these segments. Yeah, genetics have their own data. Veterinarians in the farms, they have their own data, and the nutritionists have their own data sitting in their desks. Yeah, and also at the end, the livestock production manager will have his own data separately. Yeah, here the platform, in a simple way, I would say, to integrate and consolidate all the data into one set of, I can say one view, in a simple word. This becomes already a data collaboration platform, even internally within the organization. If they put that all this wet information, nutritionist information, livestock production manager, and also the KPIs at the farm, including the temperature, whatever it's measured. Let's say if there is a poultry production software solution, if they are able to integrate these silos, this is already a data sharing platform in an internal organization. Yeah. I mean, looking at the external organization, where I think, Alan, I don't want to repeat it, that's where the mental thinking or the mindset has to come to, in order to progress the industry in such a way that everyone is benefited. Everyone is benefited, and the best practices are being shared within the whole industry. Yeah. The second part is again, I'm saying the benefit. What is the benefit to, let's say, if there is a external data collaboration? Yeah, as I said earlier, there is no one supplier of a software solution or a company who can do everything. I mean, it's totally impossible. It's logical also. It's not possible. So that's where the collaboration comes, and on the value chain, starting from their grandparents until the final product, whether it can be an egg or a kg of meat, you see starting from grandparents, hatcheries, whatever on the value chain. Yeah, here where just linking these already become a collaboration. Yeah, data collaboration. I just want to comment one on the external collaboration. That's where the benchmark comes into the picture. Yeah, whether you want to compare it to the global standard, or even to the local standards, or you want to set a standard to the industry. Yeah, means that's where the sharing of the things will come into the picture as a data platform, starting from internal, and also using a poultry production software which is able to integrate everything, and also the solutions which are already providing AI or big data, where customers or producers can also do the benchmarking. How do I see my production compared to, let's say, Europe, for example? I'm just saying one country or whatever. Yeah, to or within or outside the region. I mean, if you're asking me, if you're asking me if there is a solution, if there is a solution, as we already agreed, we will not tell those things. I mean, as it's not a marketing platform for us. Yeah, but I mean, if you allow me, I will say it. Otherwise, I will not say it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, in your wisdom, professional wisdom, you can definitely give some leads.
Sure. I mean, what we as Evonik Animal Nutrition, we are dealing with a poultry production software which is called Porphyrio, which offers big data, biostatistics, and also self-learning algorithms on the value chain. Yeah. I mean, I can just stop it here for this.
Great, thanks. And it was my absolute privilege.